Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Welcome to the Lake House. We are going to be having a very special talk today as I have some very special guests. Some flaked out on us like they do in the playoffs, but we'll address that a little later. So we're here today to talk about the AFC. We're going to have some guests from Baltimore, a Steelers fan. I know. We got to kind of respect them because they're in the division, but we're going to have some special guests. I have a very special guest of my own who I'm going to bring on first. How we doing?
What's up, Evan?
So, can you tell everybody where they can find you on Twitter?
My Twitter, my tag is Big Red 1998 at Big Red 1998.
Absolutely. And the first question I'm going to ask you before I bring in everybody else is, how did you become a Browns fan?
So I'm originally from Cleveland. I live in a DMV. When I got married in 2006, that began my love for football. I was watching it periodically with my husband. Now, mind you, he is a Dallas Cowboy fan, but it does not matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like if I didn't support the Browns 50 years ago, it's I'm Cleveland everything. It's all about Cleveland for me, regardless if I didn't support the team 50 years ago, 30 years ago. If you ask me who I'm going to support, it's going to always be the Cleveland Indians or the Cleveland Guardians, the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So 2006, got married, kind of started watching football. I wasn't like greatly into football like I am now, but I mean, it was a start for me. Um, and then just, I don't know, just one day out of the blue, I just woke up like, shoot, I'm about to really get into this football thing. I enjoy watching it. At first I thought it was a boring game, but man, I don't know. I really got into it. I did my first fantasy league this last football season. And so I mean, I'm just like heavily into it now. Like
Absolutely. That's
I'm
great
one
to
of the
hear.
boys, you know what I'm saying? Like
Well, welcome to the group. We're going to bring in another fan, another guy, excuse me. I almost called him a fan. He's probably not going to like that. But coming from the black and yellow, the worst place in the USA, sports talking it, representing the Steelers.
What's going on, Evan? How are you? Big Red, what's happening?
what's happening?
Yeah, so I'm representing the Steelers tonight. Yes, everyone knows I'm not the biggest Tomlin fan, but it's still my team, so he's still my coach. So I still have to respect it, I guess. Looking forward to do some, hopefully not do too much trash talking. As you know, I do the Guardians. I like the Guardians and Indians, so it's hard for me to fully be hated by the lake.
There's some love there. There's some love there. So I'll ask you the same question before we bring on the quick little hint, the heavyweights. How did you become a Squealers fan while also being a former, well, still Indians and Guardians fan?
Well, I grew up in Pittsburgh, so actually the Dolphins were my first team. I was a big Marino fan as a kid, so I kind of followed him. Central Catholic, then Pitt. So, and then he went to the Dolphins. So I also followed the Hurricanes, being a Miami person. And then I don't know, probably about 91, I kind of focused on the Steelers, like heavily. I mean, I still watch the Steelers. Why naturally back then in the 80s we didn't have what we have now, where you can have the NFL red zone, and so I only got to watch Marino if he was on prime time or he was playing the Steelers.
Fair enough. It's very
So
unfortunate.
I mean, I've always watched the Steelers. It's just them 80s years were hard to watch.
Well, again, sorry about that. We all have choices in life, and the sad thing is that all of our guests today are friends, and yet all of them have, except one, have made a decision I just can't support. Move on. I'm going to bring in some very, very special guests, some big heavy hitters, some guys that really love their craft and are truly respected by me, and I'm very grateful to have the two of them on. I'm going to let them introduce themselves as I bring them on. How we doing, fellas?
What's up, guys?
What's going on? What's going on, man? Thanks for having us, Evan.
No problem. Thanks for both of you coming on. So I'll let
problem.
either one of you answer however you want. How did you become a Ravens fan?
You want me to go first, Matt?
For me, hey, it's probably the same origin. See, not really, because you were a Packers fan before you were a Ravens
We
fan.
didn't
so
have
I'm
a
gonna take
team,
this.
bro. I was 8. We didn't have a team, man.
Okay, so we both became fans of the Ravens when they got over here. I was 7 years old when they got here in 1996, and I fell in love with them from the first time I saw them play. And Josh traded in his cheese head for a Raven logo that year.
The second the Browns came here, I had a Baltimore Browns shirt, and
Some of
I
us had
was, like,
Baltimore Browns
automatically a
gear
fan.
floating around
Yeah.
Baltimore still.
oh
There's
yeah.
a Baltimore Browns starter jacket.
You guys were a new franchise, Jens. We're not the Browns.
Oh no,
Somebody gets it.
Yeah, but that was before we gave them their rights.
Yep.
I thought the
We're gonna be
initial
the
thing was
Baltimore
I
Browns.
regret asking this already.
No, that was later. It was the Baltimore Browns stuff was like sounding like crazy.
But it said, but in Wikipedia, it says you guys were a full franchise new team. Jens, we're not taken from Cleveland had to build a new stadium or get out.
Yeah.
And they
you're
knew
right.
Well, I don't know
Cleveland was
what
going to
happened, bud, but
eventually
they
build
had-
a
they had-
stadium.
They had Baltimore Browns merchandise selling like
There's
right
still
away.
stuff floating around today that says Baltimore Browns on it with the
Yeah.
colors and
Google
all
it.
that.
Look it up.
It's crazy.
Like seriously, like they actually have Baltimore Browns.
Yes.
paraphernalia?
Yeah,
They had
it wasn't
Baltimore
long, it was
Browns,
quick.
they had Baltimore Ravens, and they had Baltimore Americans. We were going to be called the Americans if we weren't the Ravens.
They had we had a citywide vote.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious.
And we chose Edgar Allan Poe Ravens. And also, my hands are heavy because we win rings here in Baltimore.
I can remove from stream.
Okay, I'm going to fuck with Josh for 1 second. Excuse my language, but one of us in here that belongs to the Charm City Heavyweight Show owned Green Bay Packers stock, and it wasn't me.
I sold it.
He sold it years ago. He's a stock market wizard, but he sold it. He was the owner of the Green Bay Packers while being a Ravens fan, so there was some treason going on. But I let it slide. He's my best friend.
I would have kept that
Josh,
stock,
what
buddy.
rings do you have, by the way? I saw you had 3, but I only recall 2.
Oh, this one. Oh, that's because Indianapolis stole our other Super Bowls. But this is actually our Orioles World Series ring.
Nice.
Wait. Hold on. Did you shove a baseball ring on football talk?
He bought it the other day and he wanted to wear it so bad.
Okay.
First time too.
Okay.
I'm not even
I
mad.
guess I'll let it slide. I guess. But I want to thank everybody at one
In
time.
exchange, the NFL agreed to grant Medell a new franchise in Baltimore.
He's not going to let this go, Evan.
He's really not. He doesn't have nothing else to hold on to, so I'll give it to him. Anyway, I want to thank
Bobby
all of
Brister has
you
a
guys for
Super
coming
Bowl
on
with the
today.
Broncos.
And since he wants to keep talking, I'll let him go first. Since we're going to
No,
talk
go
about head
ahead.
coaches and coaching changes around the AFC, let's ask Sports Talking It about the changes, if any changes, have gone on in Pittsburgh.
We do. We got a new defense coordinator. Terrell Austin's been promoted. First year defense coordinator, was defensive back coach. Grady Brown's going to take over that position now.
Former
There's a
Ravens
lot of
coach.
first here coming up here. Frischman Jackson, first year wide receiver coach, had 14 years experience in college and NFL. Matt Canada, well, that's an experiment and a half. We'll see. Second year, we'll see. Maybe he'll get it together. I'm just hoping we can make this 3 playoff wins in over a decade go away, and we get number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 this year.
All right, LeBron James. Anything else?
I don't. I have to fake an injury
Uh,
to make Anthony Davis play better.
no, but you can appreciate the good things you do have and not cry about it.
I'm not crying. I just said we have 3 playoff wins in over a decade.
And
That's
you've
horrible.
also had a coach who hasn't had a losing record yet.
Oh, I don't care about that. Let's go. Let's talk. Fill it up. The Eagles blow a season, get a number 1 quarterback, and go back to the Super Bowl the following year. When
That's true.
sometimes we have mediocrity draft classes. I think we have the 17th pick this year. The only thing good we did was trade Claypool for that second round first pick.
I'll give you that one. Nobody liked
But
Claypool.
we're not talking draft yet, are we?
No, we'll save that one. But we'll save the best for last, and we're gonna let the heavyweights go second in this round of what we're talking about. So, guys, has there been any changes for you guys so far?
Quite a few. We've reassigned our former quarterbacks coach James Urban and our former running backs coach Craig Versteeg. They now have senior offensive assistant roles. We moved T. Martin from wide receivers coach to quarterbacks coach, and we hired Willie Taggart to be our running backs coach, the former Florida State head coach. He's now coaching running backs for the Ravens. And Todd Monken came up here after 3 years at Georgia. I know that Josh is pretty excited about that move.
Oh yeah, I love Todd Monken because finally we're going to have a normal coordinator who's not, we're going to run the ball. That's just what the Ravens have always done. But somebody who, has somewhat of a passing game. We haven't seen that in Baltimore ever. We've seen it a few times, a few seasons here and there, but I think most Ravens fans are excited about Monken. What he did in Georgia was impressive. I know he had a rough NFL past. I know he was in Cleveland and wasn't very popular there, but I'm excited, man. He mentioned space in his interview, his press conference 5 times, and it got me excited because that's not something we've seen. We're used to receivers being jammed up side by side, running into each other. So, sky's the limit.
I'm more interested to see what kind of personnel he brings in here for the wide receiver room because at the end of the year press conference, General Manager Eric DeCasso said that he was going to completely redo the wide receiver room, and outside of Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay, nobody's coming back. So I know they brought back Andy Isabella on a futures deal, but he's really going to be a fringe bubble guy. But I like him, but I think they're going to go out here and grab a veteran or two. We might make a trade. There's been some Mike Evans, the Baltimore rumors floating around the last couple of weeks that I'm digging. So hopefully
Odell Beckham Jr. too, Matt.
Yeah, that's true.
It's floating around a lot today.
It was.
I think he's on all 32 teams.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't play last year, but he must have really been messed up to not play.
I kind of felt like from the stuff that I did see, especially when he got recognized at the Rams game, that it looked like he was still favoring his knee by the way he was walking and embracing other players. But from the 2-minute clip that I saw, as far as it went for his workout that he had a little bit earlier this week, I think it was yesterday or Tuesday. He looked pretty good. So we'll see, because like you guys were mentioning, he's been linked to everywhere Baker Mayfield isn't. So
Oh, and before we move on from the coaches and the changes, we got rid of our strength and conditioning coach. That bastard is gone. He's responsible for the 2021 COVID outbreak with the Ravens, because his ass came to work COVID positive and didn't wear a mask and didn't tell anybody. And then he's the same one that hurt multiple players during their rehabs. And we're so happy to see this bastard go. Steve Saunders. You know,
I had no idea about that story. Can you go a little deeper in that?
okay, long story short,
Former players.
About between former and current players, about a dozen players came out and spoke out about how he ran such a terrible conditioning program and strength program that they worsened their injuries year after year. Derek Wolfe was power cleaning on the strength and conditioning program after he had back surgery 4 months prior. And there was such a fallout between the training staff and the strength and conditioning staff that they didn't like each other. So when the team doctors were trying to keep players out longer, the strength and conditioning staff would start getting shitty about it, and they would make them report to rehab. And it was just a huge fiasco where one of our former defensive linemen that plays for, I believe, the Steelers now, Carl Davis.
Wormley.
I think he plays with the Steelers. No, Wormley didn't say nothing, but Carl Davis came out and said that he almost tore his hamstring off the bone doing deadlifts after rehabbing a hamstring injury, and the coaches blamed it on him trying to beat a double team. You don't do that. I played football long enough to know that you don't strain it or tear a hamstring beating a double team in a half-speed practice. It almost tore off the bone completely. Players are talking how they had their knee ligaments that were pretty much snapped upon coming back from that type of stuff. And he was just an overall terrible person. He came to work COVID positive and didn't tell anybody, and was in the weight room lifting without a mask, and then running training programs without a mask mid-season.
Ravens fans have been wanting him gone for years, man. So it made a lot of people happy. I was one of them.
Matthew Judon, who plays on the Patriots, openly complained that in the middle of November, when the strength and conditioning teams usually have their players doing more calisthenics and light lifting and plyometrics, he was having them doing heavy lifts twice a week, and sometimes on Thursdays before Sunday games. He was running our players into the ground, and we hit a wall at the end of the year. And it's all circumstantial, but he hasn't came out and defended himself because he probably knows he was wrong.
Yeah, that's terrible.
He's a douchebag.
I agree. Because that's a no-go.
That's some messed up stuff.
Yeah,
that's absolutely a no-go.
If you guys get a chance to actually research it and kind of dig deep, you'll see guys that were fringe players that could have been good, and then there was people that were getting hurt that had never been injured at the high school or college level, were re-aggravating injuries and getting hurt doing conditioning.
What was his name again?
Steve Saunders.
Okay.
Why did no one say anything when he was there, or was this hush hush?
They did.
They did. It took players having a mutiny to pretty much get him gone.
Wouldn't that be something that would be investigated by the league with allegations like that towards a strength and conditioning coach?
They investigated it, and all the Ravens did was suspend him for a little bit. And they only suspended him for the COVID violation, not for his practices.
Yeah, we have no idea why he wasn't. He should have been fired for the COVID incident.
The whole COVID thing. Was this not a time when they were testing coaches?
Yeah, this
was in the height of COVID.
This was in the height of it.
Okay.
when they were only letting 25% of the stadium be filled with fans.
That's terrible.
Yep.
No, if that 25%, the lift was starting to happen.
Right, but it
Because
was
remember,
still,
there were 0 fans for a while, and they were doing crowd noise.
yeah, that was an awkward time.
It sure
Yeah.
was. Like, there's
Absolutely.
no one there, but the crowd's going nuts.
Mhm.
If anything, that should have shown you that Monday night game in Indianapolis, they could turn up the crowd in the RCA Dome against the Steelers that year. Don't worry, the Steelers got beat bad on that Monday night game in Indianapolis, but it was loud.
I'm sorry, you
Um,
a little bit. Can you say that again?
I was there. We were waving our terrible towels, and we so we blew some dude's toupee off his head.
I love when you guys wave your sham wow towels in the stands.
You mean these
Oh
things?
man, don't get him started. Well, maybe he might blow his own hat off. It's okay.
Then we won't have any more shows.
So now that we've got the what do I want to call them this time? The runts of the litter
Do you
out of
guys
the
have any
way.
coaches change, Evan?
Yeah, we do. And I was actually going to ask Big Red, which one did you want to go with? Our special teams coach or our defensive coordinator?
Our defensive coordinator, Jim
Go right
Swift.
ahead.
Um, I I think because he's been a Super Bowl caliber um, coach. I think that he's going to really turn this defense, Cleveland Browns defense, around because last year the Browns defense was terrible. I'm not going to say terrible, but teams will pick us apart. And
Wasn't the whole team terrible?
Whoa there. Didn't we beat y'all?
I'm gonna let you have that one, Matt. But yeah.
I got your back, Matt. We beat y'all.
You did. Did you guys? What were you guys in fourth place?
All right, I give you that one. I absolutely agree with you, Red, that Schwartz, I think, is a great hire. I think it helps out Coach Kevin Stefanski for multiple reasons because the reports were that he really wanted to focus on the quarterback room and the offense. And now, uh, with all the changes that they've made, the report from Mary Kay Cabot is that our offensive coordinator will run the offense, that Stefanski will have a more team-oriented mindset, but will be able to help focus with Watson,
Mm-hmm.
other players in the offense to help implement them into the system while Jim Schwartz takes over the defense. I think that's a good thing because it takes certain things off of his plate. I felt like Bill Woods, although he had multiple he could have gave multiple excuses. So rude. Just so rude, but multiple excuses. Things that were going on with the guys he was given, the personnel that he had, the draft picks. But at the end of the day, you got to get your job done. And when you know you're not getting any pass rush and you decide not to blitz on third down and not blitz and run down situations, we got the results that we got. So
Yep.
absolutely agree. I'll take Bubba Ventrone.
Yeah.
I love Bubba.
Mm-hmm.
He had one of the top special teams units across the board in Indy the last year. Former Cleveland Brown
Yep.
was part of the Phil Dawson and Josh Cribbs era before Josh Cribbs went over to the Giants for 2 years, which was absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
But Bubba is well known around the league. Guys love him. Love the way that he talked for the guys. Love the way he coached. The
Mm-hmm.
way he was give and take with them with guys. Allowed them to hold their own responsibilities and do what they were supposed to do while still coaching them. So for me, um, I'm definitely happy with the Bubba Ventrone hire, but I think the biggest thing for the Browns all offseason was changing defensive coordinator, and that happened to be Jim Schwartz. Any thoughts about any changes for any of the other teams?
Can I just
I
say
do,
one thing real quick?
Go right ahead.
The verdict is still out on KS for me.
Really?
Yes. I'm still concerned about how he's going to call these plays in the game, how he's going to make adjustments, his leadership. I don't know if Jim Schwartz is going to bring like a different feel for the team, but I don't know. It's the verdict is still out on him.
Can I change your mind a little bit?
Go ahead.
So
It's gonna be hard to change my mind, but go right ahead.
so when I'm not doing this, I work for the Browns and the NFL.
Okay.
I'm on the field or I am running around the perimeter, the inner perimeter of the bowl to check fans, making sure people are not jumping on the field, that the rest of the security team on the field have the care that they need during the game.
Mhm.
My biggest issue that I've had that a lot of media members are not talking about is the fact that Jimmy Haslam is on the field all the time during games,
Like Jerry Jones. Okay, go ahead though.
all the time. Coming out of the tunnel, talking to players when they're injured, coming on the sideline, talking to players. There are 2 or 3 games that I can mention right now. I don't know if you can find it, but as far as like looking at highlights and things, but the Jets game by the players.
Okay.
Um, the year we lost to the Titans in the season opener by the players. Another game this year was the Halloween game down by the players. There's been times where his kids, his grandkids, are running around the players on the sideline for the Cleveland Browns. So
Wow.
I really want to say to people that I hope they understand that even though we have the right coach, I believe we have the right coach and the right GM. I still believe there are other issues that we have as far as culture because of our owner. Because the one year that the one year we had that we made the playoffs, Jimmy and D Haslam were not around the players. So, and guys around the league still have a very pleasant thought when it comes to Kevin Stefanski. So I would say give it a chance and kind of look at some of the other things that are going on.
Okay. Well, that's a different perspective. Um, I'm definitely gonna be looking and seeing, and I'm hoping the Browns come out really hot this year.
I don't know about hot. I think there are some adjustments, but I do think that this year saves everybody's job. And I think this year we're going to shock a lot of people, especially the ones in the division, with
Okay.
the changes that are going to go on. I see somebody over in the corner up there making a face about some of the things that I'm saying, and I was wondering if he had a question.
yeah, no, I do want to make a comment about the defensive coordinator. Jim Schwartz is not only a Baltimore native, he graduated from my alma mater in the 70s. Jim Schwartz is a legend in this city for his contributions to the high schools and being a fellow Mount St. Joseph alumni. I am happy that he's back in the league. It's just that he could have really chose 30 other franchises to go to. Because, I mean, now he's part of the Factory of Sadness.
Oh, shots fired early. Okay.
Early. I mean,
So
it's peasant behavior. I'm sorry, but that's just he's
we're peasant
joining
behavior.
a dysfunctional group. It's
We don't even see our owner. We used to see him once a year.
don't know
Now
who
he
our
don't even do that. We don't
doesn't
ever
even come
see him.
around.
Hell
I
no.
know why you don't see him because he
He's a
didn't like the
billionaire that
quarterback
doesn't need to be there.
a couple years ago, and now he don't want to pay him. So I'll let
because
you
your
guys go.
franchise-
Oh, hold on. That already leaked. We offered to pay him. He's just being ridiculous.
No.
He
I
turned
don't-
down 144 million, didn't he, the other day or some crap?
He
I think
turned
it's
down. He
133.
turned.
Wait.
It was
wait.
250. If he played it out, it was 250 in the end. He's nuts.
Hold on.
Just be
You
Give us our
don't
2
blame.
first-round picks because he's overrated. Give us our 2
We wouldn't
first-round
be in this
picks.
situation, Evan, if your
Somebody take
goddamn owner didn't give Mr. Massage, therapist
Oh,
extraordinaire
oh, okay.
230 guaranteed.
Predator.
hey,
Wait,
look,
hold on.
we're gonna keep this
Makes that
kid
app on
friendly.
your phone go off, man. When you're around him, your phone will start buzzing. You're near a sex predator.
But
Look,
But I know Adam is not up there laughing. We're not gonna talk about Pittsburgh Steelers and their old quarterback.
yikes.
Antonio Brown days.
if we're gonna talk about quarterbacks and them having life issues, Pittsburgh's probably the last place to be speaking in this division. But we're gonna leave that alone.
Well,
Little
Roethlisberger-
hands pick it to you, huh? Just like
Little Hands, Mason Badworth, Rudolph, and Big what's his last name?
Wait, isn't Ben from
Mitch.
Ohio though?
He went. I don't know if he's from Ohio, but I know he went to
Ohio.
Miami at the time.
Yeah, he's from Ohio.
Yikes. Terrorizing 2 states in the AFC North.
I'm gonna leave that alone because I have my own.
We all have our own feelings.
That whole
It's all in. It's all.
Oh,
in
Evan, I
jest.
saw something today that Ezekiel Elliott is now being possibly linked to you guys. Is that true?
Fuck no.
I saw
That'll
something
be a
about that
Browns
like a
move.
couple hours ago.
Did you guys?
Where did you see that at?
I don't know. I was
Did you
scrolling
guys cut-
somewhere looking up some Steelers stuff.
Did you
and it
guys
said-
let go of Kareem Hunt?
So at the beginning of the year, he decided to hold out when they were in the middle of contract talks because he wanted to sign his contract before the beginning of the season. And he kind of got on the bad side of owners and coaches, and that's why he didn't get a lot of playing time after like week 6. So he's technically a free agent, but I think what's going to end up happening is that because the market is so bad and the only guy to get signed of note that was like had a good year was Miles Sanders, and he didn't get that much money. So I really don't think that he's going to have many places to go. This is why I really thought at the beginning of the year that after the end of the season he was going to go back to Kansas City.
I really
Evan, are
thought
you
that he
not
was
a
going to go to
Kareem
Carolina.
One at a time.
No, I was saying, are you not a Kareem Hunt fan or?
I know Kareem personally. I absolutely love Kareem. I don't know if he remembers me, but I played against Kareem in high school. We went to some of the same camps in the offseason. But I definitely root for him. I think all humans make mistakes. I just think it's unfortunate that athletes are put on a different pedestal and their personal business is put out there. Now, as I say this, I don't want anybody in the comments because I want to make it clear. I don't condone none of these things that these gentlemen have done.
Right.
I do think that they deserve a second chance in life, just like everybody else does, because everybody makes mistakes. We're all human.
Right.
To answer your question, yes, I am a Kareem Hunt fan. And Matt, you were saying?
I really thought Kareem was going to go down to Carolina before they signed Miles Sanders. I really thought that Kareem was like a good candidate to go down to the NFC South and kind of be the standout running back because they don't have any. I mean, other than Kamara, I felt like he would have had a relatively easier path down there. But I can see Kareem. I don't think he's going to go back to Kansas City, but I could see him going to some place like the Chargers if they trade Eckler.
That too. I felt like he was going to go back there because I had heard rumblings about the feelings for Edwards-Helaire. But after Pacheco came out and did what he did, I don't see the reason to go sign a running back when I got a 7th round draft pick doing his thing. But now that we've already kind of branched off into free agency, I'm going to let Baltimore go first because I have a question about one of their players. But I'll let them talk about some of their free agency moves before we get to some questions.
Josh, I mean, I know you're gonna.
We haven't done
this.
shit.
We haven't done anything.
We just signed Justice Hill. We extended Justice Hill 2 years for like $8 million. We haven't done anything.
2 years, 4.5.
Yeah, whatever it was. We that's it.
been
Lamar's
handcuffed-
got the whole
Huntley again?
franchise.
Yeah, Huntley.
We put a tender on him.
Yeah, so Huntley's back for another year.
So both our quarterbacks are available.
We re-signed or we restructured Michael Pierce. We restructured Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
We
Matt,
cut.
did you say Huntley is back with you all? or he's
Yeah,
playing with you all?
He's on a tender. He's back with us on a
he's
tender.
a
But
restricted free agent.
I was kind of hoping we could have got him.
No,
I
we ain't
mean,
taking part they
we
promised.
right now we're but we cut Calais Campbell. We are in the process of trying to bring back Marcus Peters. We don't really know how that's going to go. Right now, in
God, I
terms
hope
of
we
free
get
agents,
Peters back.
right now we're handicapped because this whole Lamar tag thing. We had to fit him under the cap with that non-exclusive franchise tag number. So in the next couple of days, we need to really kind of see what's going to go on because right now we have 10 million in cap, and that's going to be just enough to sign maybe one free agent and then sign the incoming draft class. So we haven't really been active on a lot of fronts. We've been linked to OBJ. We've been linked to.
You did make that trade with the Jets.
Yeah, we traded.
Oh yeah, we traded Chuck Clark, which we all knew was coming.
Yeah, he wanted out last year.
Kyle
when we
Hamilton
drafted
was
Kyle
the best
Hamilton.
safety in football. I mean, Hamilton.
I wish the Steelers would have taken him so bad.
I know you love him, but he's a Raven baby.
I
and he's staying a
do.
Raven.
I do. It's the only reason I
And
really
we
like
pay
the
our
Ravens right now
secondary.
because I'm a Hamilton
We
fan.
pay the shit out of our secondary, so
Yep.
he's playing like that. He'll have his $100 million deal.
You know, we've
Like
been linked.
That is one jersey I would buy like openly as a non-Ravens
We
fan.
we were linked to.
You're a terrible person.
I like Hamilton. I bought a Cowboys
We
jersey because of
obviously have
Felix
the
Jones.
best. We have the best. I mean, you all can admit we have the best uniforms in our division, right?
Your
so
uniform or jersey?
The all black
Call it the whole
uniforms are the only
uniform.
ones you guys have that are good.
Disagree.
Hell no.
The all black with
Browns,
the purple is the only ones you guys.
I don't
have
think
good.
the Browns have the best one in as far as
the Bengals.
I like the Bengals jerseys. If we're going to be honest about it,
they're all white helmets with the black stripes.
I love
pretty
those
hard.
ones. I hate the numbers though. Why did they do that to the numbers?
I don't know, but they're a peasant franchise too, so they do things.
Yeah,
it sounds like you relate well, Matt, when it comes to these insults that you're.
That ruined the whole
Hey, I can
jersey
sling
for
them and
me,
take them,
the
baby.
numbers.
Hey, but we've been linked to DeAndre Hopkins the last couple of weeks, and then today yesterday and today, rumors really started to float that we were going to flip Patrick Queen for a wide receiver. So that's been coming up lately in the last.
We don't need him
because I don't think Queen's definitely not getting paid here when Roquan's getting $20 million a year. That is definitely not happening.
That's sealed Queen's fate.
So I have 2 questions for you guys.
Okay.
One, why does everybody blame Cleveland for the contract they gave when they had the opportunity to pay Lamar Jackson the year after he won the MVP?
They tried, dude. He wouldn't take it.
It's a cop out about the Cleveland thing because Cleveland's not the first franchise to fully guarantee a quarterback deal. Minnesota did it with
they are.
Of that magnitude, yeah, Josh, but Minnesota did it first with Cousins on a much smaller scale.
He didn't want to go to Cleveland. Let's be honest. He did not want to go to Cleveland whatsoever. They said F it and just threw the whole damn bank at his ass, and it stuck. I mean that's what happened. He didn't want to go to Cleveland.
The biggest problem right now is that with signing Lamar Jackson, the fact that his mother is his agent or his representative, and he's got the NFL Players Association in his ear. So his deal should have been done the day after Josh Allen's deal got done.
Exactly.
That's where it begins and ends. If he has an agent he signed 2 years ago, this isn't even a conversation. Now,
I absolutely agree.
Now, in the last 3 years, I'm gonna preface this by saying the last 3 years, Lamar caught COVID twice. He missed like 3 or 4 games in 2020. 2021, he missed 5 games because of a ankle injury. And then this year he missed 7 games because of his knee injury. So at the end of the day, your best ability is availability. So the question now becomes, are the Ravens going to sink 45 to 50 million plus in a quarterback that's only available for a dozen games a year?
And now we have a completely different system. It's not Greg Roman where he's so important to that.
Right.
Offense. It's now a new system.
Lamar's going to have to learn a new offense for the first time in his career. He's been in Greg Roman's offense since he started in the NFL. So now that's part of the issue. If he doesn't get traded and he doesn't sign a long-term deal and he has to play on this tag, he's going to sit out the entire offseason. He's going to sit out every mini camp, every OTA, every mandatory camp, and he's not going to learn this offense, which is going to be a detriment to his bottom line again if he wants to paid next year. So it's really doing nobody any favors. It's just a muddy situation. I'll say this, and Josh can attest to it, guys.
I have something after this too.
All right.
We have not seen this much dirty laundry come out of the Ravens organization in the history of the team. This is getting very ugly because it's getting public. And you got Lamar Jackson talking to Josina Anderson and Stephen A. Smith through his people. And then you got the Ravens leaking their offers to Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen and all these type of people. So
it's messy. It's
very
messy.
messy.
It just needs to end. I honestly want him going. I want him out. I'll take the 2 first-round picks. Let somebody take them. You know, I'm a film buff. I don't just watch the game. I break it down. I watch it all week till the next game comes. You know, he's very terrible outside the numbers, accuracy-wise. He's about 50-50. When he's hot, he's hot. When he's not, he's 10 yards off, 10 miles high.
And he ranked the number 34 in quarterbacks the last 2 years with deep ball completion percentage.
Yeah, because he can't
34.
hit it. You take away. That's why he hasn't been successful in the playoffs. Because what do you do to the Ravens? You shut the middle down. Now Andrews is fucked. You force him to throw the ball outside. And he can't. And he hasn't been able to do it. Yeah, his one playoff win against the Titans, he won that game. He made some throws to Andrews, but he won that game with his legs.
He also had 100. He had 515 combined yards that game.
Yeah,
and he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Exactly. So he hasn't shown that he can do it consistently with his arm, and I wish he could. I mean, if he could do that,
Mayfield situation.
Huh?
So, do you think this is a Baker Mayfield situation?
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's overrated. I'm telling you, he's overrated. Whoever gets him, if somebody steals him from us, they're not going to be happy. I'm telling you.
Not comparing Lamar to Baker Mayfield.
No.
I'm not comparing the player. I'm just saying the situation as far as like having
contractual.
2 good years, and then all of a sudden you fall off the face of the earth for your fan base, and then now all of a sudden it's time to pay you, and we don't want to pay you what you're asking for.
Because how do you get let me before
how do you pay for a broken toy at a yard sale?
Okay, but here's the thing though. Lamar is also falling victim to a league-wide illusion effort from the owners. And I'm not trying to make a conspiracy theory. I'm gonna justify it. And me and Josh have talked about this on our show. Since Deshaun Watson got paid a year and a half ago by you guys, or a year ago,
right?
There's been 7 quarterback contracts that have been given out.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers got 50 a year. Russ got about 47 a year. Murray got about 45 a year. And then after that was almost a $5 to $10 million per year drop off. The owners are trying to reverse what the Browns did, and now it just happens to be Lamar's turn.
So here's my question to those contracts that you just brought up. How much are those quarterbacks making a year?
Right now, Rodgers has got the most guaranteed money out of all of them at 103, and then right behind him is Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray. Those guys are, if you take the averages, they're around 45 to 47, and then guys like Geno and Derek Carr and Daniel Jones, they're getting anywhere from 37.5 to 40.
So I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to ask you before you continue. Do you understand that before, or do you know rather? Let me put it that way. Do you know before they restructured Watson's contract, he was going to make $45.6 million next year?
Right. So he wasn't even the top guaranteed money. It was Aaron Rodgers. It's been Aaron Rodgers all along. And you when you talk about years of, like the highest per year salary, and the thing is, owners are trying to deviate away from the trend where quarterbacks were going to be getting paid. Now it's all going to blow up when Cincinnati pays Burrow, and it's going to blow up again when Philadelphia pays Jalen and Los Angeles pays Herbert. But they're trying to make it a downward trend. And the thing is, Lamar happens to be the most popular quarterback to get paid, or that hasn't been paid yet, and it's his turn, so it's getting ugly. But the trend has been going down for quarterbacks the last 7 quarterback contracts.
Do you think that he's being blackballed as far as they're saying that the owners have banded together to say, hey, we're not going to go after you because we understand that if we go after you, we have to pay you this kind of money. And because of that, it goes against the narrative that you just spoke about.
No, I don't believe that, because the thing is, if somebody really wants him, they're going to pay him, whether it's us or somebody else. The thing is, other teams have seen how ugly this has gotten. And if they offer Lamar Jackson a contract, it's 100% certainty that Bisciotti and DaCosta are going to match it. So other teams are like, we're not going to do the Ravens bidding for them. We're in a very fucked up spot right now if we have to play him on this franchise tag. So other teams are seeing that we are strapped financially. We're going to lose a lot of key veterans, and this is going to be somewhat of a rebuild year or a transition year from being a top elite team to probably middle of the pack.
So, Matt, is Lamar gone? Is he not going to come back?
I don't believe he is. And Josh and I have talked about this at length on the show. And
yeah, we think, most Ravens fans want him, but me and Matt want him. We want him gone. We want the picks. We want the money off the books.
Here's what I'm thinking. It's gotten uglier, Red. It's gotten uglier the last couple of seasons in the off season. Mm-hmm. Does Lamar Jackson give us the better chance to win than Tyler Huntley? Absolutely. Is he better than majority of the quarterbacks that we could possibly grab on the free agent market right now or through the draft? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But at what point are you going to worry about the long-term projection of your franchise? Because we've gone through this twice. We've gone through this with Elvis Gerback, and we've gone through this with Kyle Bowler. We have paid 2 quarterbacks previously, and we've been snake bitten each time. So the team is more hesitant than ever to sink that much money, knowing that every year for the next 4 or 5 years, if you give him that long-term deal, you're going to have to draft a quarterback in the 1st or 2nd round every single year, hoping one sticks.
Yeah.
And you're never going to be able to give him that bona fide veteran wide receiver 1.
So you brought up something that.
Well, hold on, real quick, Evan, real quick. I just want to know: has there been any deep research to see if even Lamar wants to stay in Baltimore?
Yeah, he does. I mean,
Like,
he's got
really
Raven tattoo on his chest. Yeah, all his stuff's still Ravens.
Some people get that, like, where they play.
Hold on, I mean, hold on. He's still posting pictures wearing Raven shit. Like, he said many times he wants to stay here. But the thing is, he just wants lucrative money, and it's not going to. They're not going to do it.
And
they offered him a fair contract.
A lot of people don't understand that he is reading an NFL contract, and he's not a lawyer, so he's not an agent. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of money that's being put into staying healthy and making the playoffs and making the Super Bowl. Half of Mahomes' guaranteed money is tied up in incentives. And he doesn't understand it because he doesn't have an agent. And that's another sticking point. Do I believe that Lamar wants to come back here? I think he does, because he knows that this is the best place for him to win. We have tailored this entire offense to his strengths. Right. And it's been at the chagrin of attracting a wide receiver 1 who doesn't want to come here for 45 targets and has to learn how to run block like a tight end. So, yes, I believe that he wants to be here. I think that he prefers here over other places because he knows he's not an unrestricted free agent. He can't go shop himself without the 2 first-round picks attached to him, plus a team kicking out that kind of money. Now, do I believe his feelings are hurt? Absolutely. I think that the man is beyond hurt. And I think that he's so pissed off about this whole situation. I don't think he leaves South Florida until he has a deal done somewhere. So we're not going to see him in Baltimore for a very, very long time. It's gotten to the point where our team owners and our GM are flying to Miami to talk to this guy. And that's just where we are with it. And I want it to end. If they're going to give him a long-term deal, Do it, and let's get going.
Right.
If not, get rid of him. Get what you can. And is it going to suck trading a 26-year-old quarterback in his prime? Yes. But Josh will echo this sentiment, and I'm going to say the same thing. There's a good portion of Ravens fans that believe 2019 was the best football we'll ever see out of Lamar Jackson, because his play has steadily declined. And I understand the offense isn't tailored to the passing stats, but we're looking at his durability and we're looking at his production. His touchdowns have gone down every year, and so is his completion percentage, and so is the amount of games played. They've gone down 3 consecutive years since the 2019 season. And a lot of that has to do with the personnel and the offense not evolving. But at what point are you going to realize that Lamar Jackson can throw the ball 60 yards downfield, and he can throw the ball accurately 25 yards across the middle, but he can't make a dig route or a 10 and out or a 15 and out without sailing the ball out of bounds or throwing the ball at the receiver's feet? And the thing is,
Huntley is way more accurate than Lamar.
The only thing is Huntley's got to wind up like a baseball pitcher.
Exactly. That's
his biggest problem.
That's why.
But Lamar can flick it. Lamar can flick it from the wrist 50 yards downfield. Huntley goes from here and brings his arm all the way down. He throws like Tebow.
He's got a crank.
He's got a crank at the. So, but he can make the outside throws. The only thing is that his windup gets him hit a lot. So it's a double-edged sword, and we're now going to see in the coming days. Hopefully, somebody's going to get humbled. Somebody is definitely going to get humbled. It's either going to be Lamar Jackson or it's going to be the Ravens front office when they realize that some team is going to go all in on him, and then they're screwed.
That's my point. That's exactly what I wanted to get to. You mentioned that nobody wants to do the bidding for him, but from my understanding, why not Indy? Because they have what do they have, a top 10 pick this year? They give up
they're number 4. They're number 4 this year.
So you're telling me I give you a top 5 pick and a pick next year, and I'm offer you a contract that I know you can't match.
They're waiting to see what's going to go on with Rodgers, because the thing is, Indy's gonna try and swoop in and grab one of those two. They're either going to try and grab Rodgers or they're going to try and grab Lamar Jackson. I think Indy's the spot. I was convinced. You can ask anybody. The last month and a half, I've been convinced that Lamar Jackson was going to be an Atlanta Falcon. I felt it in my bones. Everything just made sense.
Didn't Atlanta go out and sign a quarterback?
Atlanta went out and got Taylor Heineke, and then they started. And then they gave their left guard $105 million, $21 million a year.
Wasn't that the first signing of free agency, by the way?
It was. It was the first thing that was announced at midnight on Sunday night into Monday morning. So, yes, I believe that he was going to be a Falcon. But now the Indianapolis Colts make a lot of sense. They've had 3 straight years where they've had a quarterback over the age of 35. It's failed miserably. I think they are going to go for somebody young. And if they kick out the number, Lamar Jackson is better than anybody they're going to draft it for.
Yeah.
So and then you put
Evan, you see Johnny.
And then if you think about it this way, Evan, you're putting Lamar Jackson in a dome for 8 games. Then you're putting him in a dome for another game in Houston. He's going to be playing in Jacksonville yearly. He's going to be playing in Tennessee. He's going to be in warm weather. And then on top of that, he's got Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman.
Right.
So yeah, that who wouldn't want him there?
I absolutely
half his game's inside.
I absolutely agree, and that's why I'm bringing up the question, because from my perspective, I think y'all are worse off trying to win and to wait it out to keep at this point, because like you said, it's already been all over the media. It's been all over the place. And this is the first time that's happened for you. So that's the first L. The second L is y'all went through the same stuff with Joe Flacco, and he bet on himself winning won a Super Bowl. Y'all overpaid him, and then he never did anything else. So
that's why they're not doing it. That's why the thing is the Ravens will pay who they want to pay.
And Flacco also had a shitload of playoff wins when he was asking for money.
Flacco and Lamar Jackson are the complete polar opposites. Lamar Jackson in the regular season, when he is on, he is lights out. He is putting up yards, he's putting up touchdowns, he's making razzle dazzle plays, and then when he gets into the playoffs, he's got a 25% win percentage. On the contrary with Flacco, Flacco could barely get through a regular season without looking like a schmuck. But when the playoffs hit, he was a different dude.
Yep.
He had ice in his veins. He took us
Playoff
to 5.
Joe.
He took us to 4 straight AFC championship games.
Who was on your defense when he did that?
Ray and Ed and Sizzle and
Nana.
Whoa.
Whoa. But Super Bowl year with Joe, people always say that about the defense. That defense was suspect as fuck that year, man.
And
our secondary was getting old. Our secondary was terrible.
The year we won the Super Bowl in 2012, Terrell Suggs tore his Achilles playing basketball before
he
the season started. Ray Lewis tore his triceps. Ed Reed had a neck injury. A lot of our key guys missed it, but Joe Flacco went on the best 4-game stretch of his entire life.
And that's exactly why I brought up who was on that defense. Because if you look at your defense now, who do you have? Your corners are falling apart.
Roquan.
Your secondary is falling apart. Roquan Smith, look.
That's secondary falling apart. We got Kyle Hamilton. Center secondary falling apart. Foolish. We got Marcus Williams. Center secondary falling apart is just foolish to say.
Your secondary has had injuries for like the last 2-3 years.
No, they haven't. Last year they all stayed healthy. Marcus Peters missed a few games.
With the exception of Marcus Williams.
And Marcus Williams broke his wrist. Our secondary is legit. And I tell you what, Kyle Hamilton rated is the best safety in football.
Did he come back and play with a cast?
Yeah, he did. And he had an interception with the cast his first game back.
Well, I'm mistaken about that. I apologize. But to compare this
defense, I stuck up for the Ravens. I have issues.
Right. I've been trying to tell you for a long time you got some issues, buddy.
Now, if you say our pass rush is falling apart, then I'll be inclined to agree with you. But secondary, absolutely not.
So, I'm
a Hamilton
before
fan,
we transition, you brought up a great point. Roquan Smith, do you really think he's the piece to your defense?
Fuck yeah.
Absolutely, for one reason only. He's going to make the transition from Clark being gone, wearing the green dot. Roquan Smith, and I'm not saying this because he's a Raven. The dude plays similar to what we're used to when it comes to being Ravens fans on defense. He's smart, he's aggressive. He checks off our boxes. And the thing is, when it comes to your respective teams, Evan, you and Reds are diehard Browns fans. When you think of Browns running backs, you think of Jim Brown. Mm-hmm. You think of your Hall of Famers. When you think of a quarterback, you think about Bernie Kosar.
Right.
When we think about Ravens linebackers, the gold standard, the bar is always going to be number 52.
Absolutely.
No matter what. Yeah. So it's hard being a Ravens linebacker in the post Ray Lewis era and not getting compared to him. And for the first time since 2012, it's been 10 years now, we have a linebacker leading this defense that has similar qualities. And Ray has even said it himself in interviews. Now he's the missing piece in the middle of the defense because he is not a 5'11", 210-pound overhyped, strong playing middle linebacker in a 3-4 defense. He's got the wherewithal, he's got the smarts, he's got the aggression. He hits like a Mack truck, and he knows how to wrap up and tackle, which is the most important thing. Now, other than that, on our linebacking core, if Queen goes, we're going to either start the kid from Michigan, Josh Ross, or we're going to start Malik Harrison. So there's a fall off there. Our edge rushers, we don't know about Ojabo because he tore his Achilles in college. And Odafe always been a bust as far as most of the fans are concerned, us included. He's Mr. Almost in Baltimore.
He has no bend. He has no flexibility.
He's all pure speed. So is he the missing piece to the defense being complete? Yes, but he doesn't fix the pass rush, and he doesn't fix the edge setting. He fixes the middle of the field, which is important because you guys know it, and you guys have seen it the last handful of years. You can throw over the middle in Baltimore with ease because those linebackers get lost. Mm-hmm. Look what David and Njoku did against us last year before Roquan got here. That first and second game were light years different.
Different. magically
were.
different.
Because the second game, Roquan was shadowing Njoku almost everywhere. Now,
Right.
granted, he did get banged up, so there, I do give that an asterisk.
So I thank you guys for that because that was well answered, well played. But I'm gonna go to my girl Big Red. Let the
Yeah.
Steelers go last. So we've had a number of guys come in for free agency, and I actually like some of our signings.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard any of the news, and who do you like?
Um, I'm liking our safety. Is what's his name?
Juan Thornhill?
Juan Thornhill. We need that. I think he's a smart player. Um, and he's already trying to recruit other players
Yep.
to the Browns, which is like
Miko Hardman.
hilarious. But I think he's going to be a great addition because, like I said, our defense, we definitely need some help. Um, Miles Garrett, I think he's going to be happy with a lot of
Dalvin Tomlinson.
Dalvin Thomason. I think I was just I put on Twitter today. I said I am a fan of Aaron Donald, so Dalvin Thomason, he's going to be like my Aaron Donald. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
6'4", 340 pounds. Um, Most people don't realize. Can anybody, before I say the answer, can anybody else name the other three defensive linemen he was with at Alabama?
No, didn't.
One. I'll give you the answer. I think three of them at one point. No, two of them. Excuse me. Two of them are key cogs in what they have over there in Washington with the Commanders.
Payne and Allen.
Yes, and had guys like Reuben Foster behind. Um, Absolutely amazing story when it comes to Dalvin Tomlinson. I absolutely agree with what you said about Juan Thornhill. I'm kind of surprised that you brought him up because from my polls on Twitter, a lot of people don't really understand what kind of grab this is. Because
Mhm.
with him coming in, this helps Grant Delpit. He can
Yes.
come down to the line and play the nickel, so that'll help there. Juan Thornhill has two Super Bowls, two.
And they need that kind of caliber player in the locker room. That
Absolutely. So two Super Bowls, key player in the playoffs
Yep.
for the Chiefs. Good guy in the locker room, as you already mentioned. He's recruiting Miko Hardman.
Yep.
Only thing that I don't like, and I kind of want to get everybody else's opinion on this one. They signed two guys today, Maurice Hurst
Yeah.
and Tristan Hill, and then they also signed. I can't pronounce his name. I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name.
Double O, double O, double
Yes,
O.
007.
That's it.
Um, as he coming from Houston, he's our new guy. He also won the championship with the Rams. He got his first opportunity to start. And in those starts, I think his last, what was it, in his last 6 games, he got 5 sacks. He had
Hmm.
8 sacks, I think, all year, or was that the last 2 years? But he was given by PFF, and I'm gonna let everybody know now my PFF grades. Uh, Take it at your own risk. But for here, it works. Um, he had a higher pass rush win rate than Myles Garrett, the best pass rusher in the division.
That's debatable about him being the best pass rusher in the division.
I didn't expect that to come from you. Who do you think is the best pass rusher in the division?
Him and TJ are 1A, 1B. You can interchange them. I'm just giving you a hard time, but Garrett's far and away the best, one of the best in the league. There's not many guys that are like him,
Yeah.
and I'll give you that. But you guys just have a terrible problem finding somebody that can bookend him.
Yeah.
I think we had the right guy in Jadeveon Clowney. I think we had the wrong philosophy around the two.
Didn't you guys just release him?
Yes, we
Yeah.
did.
Yes, we did with the what is it, a June 1st post designation release.
Yeah.
But
I
I
wouldn't mind.
wanted to ask you guys about Maurice Hurst coming in on a 1-year 1-year prove-it deal, kind of the same deal we gave Malik McDowell before he did some perks and used the pass rush move perfectly on a police officer in Florida. If you haven't seen that video, look it up on Twitter. I mean, hand and footwork was absolutely incredible. The only problem is he's butt naked and it's a cop by a middle school. But yeah, I'll definitely let you know about that story. But I wanted to ask you guys about Maurice Hurst because when he came out in the draft, I believe it was 2019, seen as a first round talent, taken in the first round, had a good rookie, and
I think
now
he got
he's
drafted by the Raiders, I believe, right?
yes,
He came from Michigan, I believe. I think.
correct. I won't. He went to college. That's just a no go. Wishing it. We don't say letter right there. We don't say that when we speak about that team from that garbage dumpster fire up there. So there we go with that.
Oh, you're an OSU guy.
Absolutely.
It's a shame you guys can't make a pro quarterback to save your life.
I could say the same about Maryland.
Hey, we're not a football school. I mean,
Yeah, we're basketball.
We're basketball all the way through and through. By the way, Adam, we won today. Thank you very
I
much.
did. I was wondering if y'all won.
My bracket got busted. I had the Cats going to the final two.
Is your other team still alive?
Yeah, the Bulldogs.
Then you're good.
I had Arizona in the final two.
Virginia got knocked out again, so that was funny to see.
Did Oral Roberts score? I know I'm going off pace, but it was 11-0. Whenever I looked, like 6 minutes were gone in that game.
I'm not sure.
I'm sure Oral Roberts scored, but I mean Duke was starting to run away with it.
Everything Duke is trash.
Yes, absolutely agree. But we're gonna go ahead and transition, and we're gonna give the Squealers, who I predicted the worst team in the division next year, an opportunity to go. So, any free agency moves, any trades, any positive moves for the Squealers?
I was they lost Cam Sutton. They went out and signed Patrick Peterson, which
downgrade.
I don't. He had an all right year last year. He had 5 interceptions.
But you let Cam Sutton walk for Patrick Peterson, who's like 40 years old,
and can't cover Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rashad Mark Andrews, Jamar Chase, and the rest of the Migos over in Cincinnati.
Well, they cut Miles Jack today too, which
that blew my mind. I wanted to talk to you about that.
So apparently after week 13, if you look at Jack's numbers, they did decline. He was injured, and maybe the new defense coordinator, Mr. Austin, didn't feel he was worth it. I was confused by this move myself, but they did sign Alderan, I can't even say it, Roberts and Cole Holcomb, which Cole Holcomb looks like he's just like a ready to party dude. Got the fucking full mullet in the back, so it'll fit in well around here. And then
his sister's probably
Alden Roberts had 107 tackles last year and 4.5 sacks.
He totally missed my redneck joke. I'm so fucking disappointed.
I was too busy looking. What'd you say there, Mr. Matt?
I said Holcomb's sister's probably his mother.
Oh,
I know y'all up in Western Pennsylvania get down differently.
Absolutely, they do.
Leave it clean.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Remember,
he's gonna give me a hard time off air. I already know it.
I was gonna say a joke. But I'm not.
So
I'm actually gonna keep my mouth shut this time.
I actually have a question for the Ravens that is a big concern big interest for the Steelers and myself, Laius Campbell. I've heard rumblings that there's a chance he could stay in the division.
I heard Pittsburgh.
I heard Pittsburgh too.
We heard it on the radio. We heard Pittsburgh, we heard Jacksonville, and we heard Philadelphia to replace Hargrave.
If he doesn't sign right away, Cleveland will make the call. I
Honestly,
it,
we love Calais. It's going to be
He
tough to
just wouldn't
swallow if we see.
renegotiate. He wouldn't come down. He was
he-
too big of a cap hit. He wouldn't come down. They tried to keep him.
They did, and the thing is, he wants his money. He's at the point in his career where he wants his money. You know, I mean, he's already been to the Super Bowl. I mean, I know he doesn't have a ring yet, but I think if he goes to Pittsburgh, it's strictly for the money at this point because Pittsburgh is not anywhere close to being a Super Bowl contender. I love you, Adam. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
boo,
guys-
Steelers suck.
Right there. What are you talking about?
This isn't Madden. Madden isn't real life.
They ain't winning in Madden in my house either.
But I can see Calais going to a contender. I don't even think right now at this point, if you started the season tomorrow, the Ravens aren't contenders. Even with number 8 at quarterback, there's just so many things that we need to fix in terms of depth and pass rush and the offensive line. We lost Ben Powers earlier in the free agency. I'm gonna be happy wherever he goes because he gave 3 good years to us, and the fact that he played through injuries, he was our locker room leader. He was very active in the community. I'm happy for the guy wherever he goes. Do I want him to come back? Yes, but I think him coming back is tied to whether or not Lamar is going to be our quarterback because they're very close.
Absolutely.
And Calais is the vice president of the NFL Players Association.
Could you imagine having Casey Hayward on one side and Calais on the other, and then it would be TJ second place Watt and whoever else you got on the other side as your 4 rush guys with somebody, whoever you want. You can put me at nose guard. I promise you we get a sack.
You know, that's interesting when you put it like that. But at what point is people going to realize that Hayward and Calais are pretty much long in the tooth at this point? So they're good in short bursts, but they're not
Calais
good for.
fizzles out, man. He fizzles out. He usually starts
we're not
off
saying that
hot
because
and
he's
then
gone.
fizzles out.
And the thing is, he's better when there's a good rotation. He played well this year because Broderick Washington improved, Madubuike improved. We had Michael Pierce for a little bit before he got hurt. Brent Urban played his ass off this year, and he wasn't a 3-down defensive lineman. He was situational. So that saved him. He can't go someplace and play 50 snaps a game for 17 games.
No.
He's gonna break down by midseason. And we saw it happen in 2021. He broke down after the Colts game. I love him, but I don't want to see anywhere but Pittsburgh because of just our natural hatred for them. And it's hard to root for anybody in Pittsburgh. I don't think I've ever rooted for anybody in Pittsburgh in my life. So,
agreed. They have the ugliest F word.
When they wear them, when they wear them Bumblebee uniforms, man, they are terrible.
You mean those ones?
Dude,
yeah, they're terrible, man.
Is your pension program tied into the amount of jerseys you have? Holy shit! Like, that is just ridiculous.
He uses them to make towels because he realizes how bad those jerseys are.
Josh and I have a rule. We buy Hall of Famer jerseys. We don't buy players that are current. Because
because then you end up with what I got behind me. That's why they're up there because I wanted to be a troll.
I got two Palomalu jerseys. What the hell?
I have one jersey. It's Ray Lewis, and that is I've had that jersey since I was like 19.
I have a Joe Thomas jersey, but I won't wear it. I'm like super.
This guy should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he'll be in the XFL Hall of Fame.
He should be in the real Hall of Fame.
Should be and would be our
Hines Ward. He was a dirty motherfucker, man.
Evil.
Evil. Diabolical.
I have a Brady Quinn, I think.
Ooh,
Brady Quinn.
That might be worth some money.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Sell it in Indiana. It'll be worth something.
You guys were happy as shit when you drafted Brady Quinn.
You weren't.
And Brandon Whedon.
Okay, yes, I was. I was happy when they drafted Brandon Whedon.
And Johnny Manziel.
Nope.
Johnny Football.
I
See,
saw him
I
leave.
mean, Ben Roethlisberger had more wins in Cleveland than any starter at Cleveland had for what, 10 years?
I saw him leave the stadium one time. And so, like, if you've ever been to Brown Stadium, it's like
The new one? I mean, First Energy?
yeah, first inning, it's same stadium. So if you leave the stadium, you have to go under this bridge, and it drops. It's like you go under the bridge, and if you turn right, there's the flats. If you turn left, like you kind of go like around to the roundabout that takes you around the city. He turned right, so it takes you to like the flat, and the flats are where most of our clubs are. This lost the game, talked to the media, left out the stadium, and went to Punch Bowl Social and party his butt off. Never been a fan. Never. Ever. But it's getting long in the tooth on this show. So I wanted
That
to
is the one I don't own is a Roethlisberger jersey.
I know why. I know why. I had the Roethlisberger one time when I was in Pittsburgh working the game. That's terrible.
You got to get it per man. He's not the Roethlisberger.
Your guys' teams love signing sex offenders, guys.
Oh my God, Josh, relax.
But the murderer,
Hey,
Oh, come on. He didn't
according
do
to
it.
the
His
letter
friends
of the
did it.
law, he didn't murder anybody.
only he burnt
Look,
the.
look, it's funny. It's funny how both of our players use. They're like, I better call Ray. I need your lawyer
That's true.
Hey,
right away.
see, the only thing is that everybody on the show now, I don't know what Miss Red does for a living, but I've familiarized myself with the court proceedings at least for the last 3 years. So I'm always going to take the legal route with Ray. He was found guilty of obstruction, not of murder. So there's that. Just like Ben Roethlisberger was never found guilty of assault, but we kind of can see through read between the lines with all that. Ray knows what happened, and Roethlisberger knows what he was doing with them college girls. So, and
Let's
Deshaun
get away
Watson,
as fast as possible.
and Deshaun, he just likes happy endings, man. He's
Come on, man. Wait. Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, Robert Kraft does too. He didn't get in trouble for it though. That's crazy to me.
He got the money. Now let's stop, y'all. So here is the final question. It is a surprise question. This is something that I wanted to do that I didn't want to tell you guys because I wanted to get an honest take.
Okay.
You cannot pick your team, but you have to pick a team within the division that has made a move or you think will make a move that will shake up the division.
Oh, I got an answer for that already, and it's what the Bengals did. Orlando Brown Jr. Man, that was
I was just thinking that
out of left
Me
field,
too.
man. And he's a dominant offensive lineman, and the thing is, they're investing in their offense, and the biggest part of that investment is keeping Joe Burrow upright. So Zeus has got his ring now. Now he wants the money.
Fair enough. Your counterpart? Do you is that your choice or do you?
That
have
was my choice too. He took the words right out of my mouth. The Bengals grabbing Orlando Brown. That shook the shit up. I did not see that coming.
we were all. You guys are aware that we were all in on that, right?
What do you mean?
We were all in on that bidding for him.
You were?
That's what I read earlier. It said the Browns, Bengals, and Ravens.
No
were
way.
all in
No
on
way.
it.
That no. That can't be possible for us.
Or us. We don't got no money.
No. And we already
That's what
paid
it
our
said.
right tackle.
We just paid Jack Brokeleg another like $10-20 million. And
I
then
think
you
they just want to try and keep him out of Cincinnati.
he ain't gonna do nothing with TJ Watt or Myles Garrett, so I'm not too worried about it.
He does struggle against speed rush.
Yes, he does. He's
Yeah,
a hell
but
of
he
a
don't
run
do well
blocker,
against
though.
everything else. And both of the guys I just mentioned can anchor. So
yeah, I'm gonna go with Brown too. That was a big shakeup of the day.
So, Big Red, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
You can go because I'm thinking. I'm sure.
I think my big shakeup of the AFC is going to shake up the NFL. I think the Baltimore Ravens trade Lamar Jackson to the Indianapolis Colts for the number 4 pick, a first round pick next year, a second this year, and a second next year. They take
Okay.
3 of those picks, including the 4th pick overall, to trade up to the number 1 pick from the Carolina Panthers, who don't know who they want and are willing to trade back, and they take their quarterback at number 1, while also having also having a pick left over for next year.
That's
I like
bold.
that.
I like that too. Hey,
Yeah,
that's a bold claim right there, buddy. I dig it though.
that would be badass. I'd be happy as shit with that.
I want this Lamar saga to end too.
It's been going for years now, man. It's gotta fucking end. It's killing our city. Like people
Hello?
are arguing.
We're here. Evan, I'm here.
We're here.
We're here too.
Yeah, that dude don't hear us.
Yeah.
He froze.
I think it is froze. Evan is definitely.
Yeah, he's out.
So now we're down to us 4. Good thing we're all hosts. Except for Big Red, this is your first show, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's my first podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Welcome
like
to
it?
the podcasting world.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, it's fun.
I don't know what happened.
There he is.
It's fitting that he's now behind the Bengals logo and he's been behind the Ravens logo all show.
Hey, that's better. I was going to change it, but it looked all comfy where you were at, so I don't know what happened. I'm just glad that we're here. So we were talking about Big Red. So this is your first show?
Yes. It is.
How do you like it?
I'm enjoying it. I really am. I'm really enjoying this.
I'm glad. I am
The
definitely
lake house
glad.
is very calming.
Hey, it's something about them waves. Them waves.
I was gonna
Hey,
say,
Evan.
if the Dallas Cowboys are keeping Dak, then the Baltimore Ravens just may keep Lamar.
Huh.
I see where you're coming from, but I think that's a different situation. Only because Jerry Jones happens to lose his backbone when it comes to guys that he's drafted, and because he drafted Dak, I think they're going to hold on to him too long, like they did Ezekiel Elliott.
And he just got didn't they cut him or something like that? Or
Yeah, they cut him today,
yeah, okay.
I
but he
think
should have
Zeke's
been
going
cut
to go
like
to
2 years
Miami.
ago.
I think
Yeah.
Zeke's going to Miami.
Who, Zeke?
Miami signed Wilson and Mostart, the 2-year
Right.
deals.
Doesn't mean they don't need another running back. He's better than both of them.
Yeah, and a cloud of dust is.
Yeah, he's a good
Do you
short
really
yardage back.
Going to go to another situation and gain back what he seemingly lost after his first 2 years in the league?
You put him behind a good offensive line, he's going to produce.
So
Dallas's offensive line has been banged up.
Cincinnati would be a good spot for him.
He's not going to play behind Joe Mixon.
They're about to get rid of Joe.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Good.
aren't they
He's a
getting rid
piece of shit
Joe?
anyway.
How
And
the
that
hell
would
is he
leave-
not
that
getting
would leave
charged?
another-
Charges filed.
That would leave like another Pollard and Elliott situation with that Perenne.
I will say this though, they've made the correct choice of running back because Tony Pollard is dynamite.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the question is,
Absolutely.
can he return to health after his injury that ended his season last year?
I think so. It wasn't like a break or anything. Some proper rest and rehab, he'll be fine. I think that he's going to play better knowing that he's a guy.
Quick question, guys. When Lamar Jackson tweeted 133/3 years fully guaranteed, but I need an agent.
That was at the
A shot at Adam Schefter.
That was a shot at Adam Schefter because Schefter broke what the Ravens allegedly offered him. See, what's going on right now in the city is with this team is that the NFL Players Association and Lamar are talking to Stephen A. Smith and Josina Anderson and ESPN people, and the Ravens are talking to Adam Schefter and Ian
Other
Rappaport.
ESPN people.
So they're playing both sides of the same organization right now.
Okay.
And it's playing out in the public eye. The thing is, Lamar doesn't want his money tied to injuries and playoff wins. He just wants
It's
his
the
money.
wording. A lot of
doesn't-
people are saying it's
The
the
word-
wording of
the
it.
wording.
Now. It's
A
not
lot of
even the
people think
money.
it's the wording. It's not the money. It's just that he doesn't want to have to prove himself any further or stay healthy. Because if you think about it this way, he's got an
Who doesn't want
MVP.
incentives?
Okay.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He wants his money.
He just wants his money, period.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the thing
And
is,
the Ravens don't want to do that.
and the
that way.
thing is, you got to look at who is in his corner. That the more money Lamar gets, the better it is for the NFL Players Association, because now that's a precedent being set. And then it's his mother. They're looking at generational wealth for the next 2 or 3 generations of their family if their money is managed properly. So of course, and the thing is, you cannot tell a mother of an NFL player every reason why you can't pay him.
Right.
When she's doing the representation, and you're telling that man's mother why he doesn't deserve $50 million a year.
That sounds like a great thing, though, for Lamar. I don't mean to cut you off, but that sounds like the perfect thing to do, don't you think? Because if
your agent's your mom, so she's gonna get a cut of that.
But the thing is,
she was gonna get a cut anyway. But if you have a regular agent, you're not gonna get the money that you want.
I'm telling you right now, she probably manages his money.
So
it's not. She's not going to get a percentage. It's going to be at her fingertips.
Yeah.
Does she seem like the one, since she's a part of that franchise, and I know that they talk about her a lot? Do y'all really think that she's gonna spend all that money?
No. I don't think it's anything like that. The thing is, it's just a tricky situation because there's so many moving parts to paying Lamar that at the center of it all is his durability. And I know it's been beating a dead horse, but is his style of play sustainable through a 5-year contract? Because by the time that 5 years is up, he's going to be 31 years old. Because now, I mean, even though he is a quarterback, he relies on his legs to make plays and extend plays. And at what point now? The thing is, this is something we haven't seen before, because from last offseason to this offseason, Josh's phone died, by the way, guys. He texted me that his phone was about to go. He picked up 20 pounds and grew an inch and a half in his mid-20s. So now when you're 6'1" and 215 pounds, you can outrun linebackers and safeties and cornerbacks. Now when you're 6'2" and a half and 230, you're not going to – you saw it this year. He's not outrunning everybody on the field.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with that. So I don't want to I try to be as objective as possible talking about Lamar. I love Lamar at the end of the day. I think he's a fantastic dude. He's done a lot for the community. He's done great things on the field for Baltimore. The biggest thing is that his lack of maturity in some situations is really shining through, and a lot of people are starting to sour on him, and it's not necessarily his fault. It's just that he's only doing what's best for him. And at the end of the day, you got to respect it, but he's holding a franchise hostage. And there's got to be an amicable resolution, because I don't see this ending well for anybody.
Speaking of maturity, Evan, some of the Browns players, I feel like they need to mature a little bit themselves.
Okay, let's name drop. Let's name drop. Who?
Let me see. Oh God, I hate the name drop.
You want me to say the names, or you just
You can say them, because I'm sure you probably know who I'm talking about.
Offense or defense?
Defense.
Oh, Myles Garrett and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and Denzel Ward and Gregory Newsom.
There you go.
Did y'all let Greedy go?
Yeah, he well, we didn't well, yeah, we never offered him an extension.
He
He
got
went
picked
to
up
the Eagles
by
today, right
yeah,
before we started the show.
yeah,
You went to the Eagles?
Yeah,
Yep.
but the thing is, he doesn't know what he's doing in zone, and he's always hurt.
yeah.
He's
Uh,
not your problem anymore.
nope, I love him, nice guy, but I like I said, I feel like a lot of guys felt to be a casualty to Joe Wood, and that's actually a great segue to what you just asked, Red. And the reason I'm gonna say that is because have all of us played some kind of organized sport? If you have, can you raise your hand?
When I was in high school.
So, because we
Football,
played
rugby,
organized
lacrosse.
sports, whether it was Pee Wee, high school, or college, um, we all understand that teams take on the identity of their leaders or their coaches. I think that because the type of leaders that the Browns have, it fell on them to take lead from their coaches because they couldn't get it from players because God, excuse me, guys like Miles Garrett, Nick Chubb don't really speak. Denzel Ward, they're not rah rah guys. Have never been rah rah guys. You never heard that stuff about them at Georgia, Texas A&M, or Ohio State.
Nick is quiet because he's family.
Who-
So Nick,
Oh, okay. So yeah, so you definitely understand that is
he's not gonna do a whole lot of talking at all. At all.
so you definitely understand.
He has to do it with the media because he's
It's his job.
yep, that's his job.
So as far as it goes with guys like Miles Garrett, Greg Newsome, everybody else, Greg Newsome, you don't want to play in the slot. Don't lose your job to Martin Emerson.
And he's been
Garrett,
good. Martin Emerson really showed up for us last year.
absolutely. Miles Garrett, come on, bro. You can't be speeding on wet roads in Ohio in a Porsche, bro. You bigger than your car, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah, that was a bit
You,
much.
you can lay down and be the same size as your car, bro. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Love you. I
Yeah.
love dinosaurs too, bro. We could go get all the Toy Story monsters you want to. But I need you on Sundays, bro.
Yeah.
You are the number one, in my eyes, the number one hand in the dirt pass rusher in the NFL. You didn't Hall of Famer for this organization, championship or not, but you will be immortalized forever and have everything you want free at any Brown supported place around the world if you just stop with the BS.
Yeah.
To the other players, I think that they'll fall in line when it comes to the situation of Jim Schwartz because Jim Schwartz is known to be a no nonsense guy.
And that's what we need.
Absolutely. So I think all of that's going to change. I think we need to give it time and be fair, but I think that change is going to come. But it's getting kind of late, y'all, and we all got jobs. So I want ourselves to be able to hug our wives and kids, our dogs, our girlfriends, whatever it may be, and be able to spend a little bit of time with them. And we could definitely do a part 2 if all of you are interested, whether it's before the draft, after the draft. We can definitely reconvene and do this again. But Red, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna ask you for your Twitter name and where they can find you, and then guys, I'm gonna let you do your shows and everything else so that they can find you. So, Red, where can they find you on Twitter?
Okay, so I got my Instagram, my IG name and my Twitter name mixed up. So my Twitter is at Big Red, which is double D at the end _98.
Okay.
And I'll put it up for the next time we meet.
That's good. That's cool. So, Matt, you did really well today, but I'm gonna save you for last this time because I made Adam go last for everything else. So, Sports Talking It, the producer of producers, the man who brought together Driving to the Top Productions, which you can see in the top right corner, covering up that beautiful Ravens sign over there. I can't believe I complimented the Ravens, but anyway. Tell me how you love Mike Tomlin before you tell us where we can find you on Twitter. I'm bullshitting. Go ahead. You can.
You are not torturing me like this.
I'm just
this city to me, and I hate it.
I am just playing with you.
I hate it, and you guys all know that. this 500 bullshit. Sitting at home in February is not sitting well with someone that grew up in the city of champions.
I didn't know you lived in Baltimore.
I mean, you didn't look old to live in the greatest football town in America in Cleveland back in the 60s and, all that other time. But yeah, we got to go way too far back. I'm sorry. It doesn't
Yeah, I
sound.
wasn't around then. I was still a thought somewhere else.
But
I was swimming around with Papa Bear. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good way to put it, Matt.
y'all are terrible. There's a very nice lady.
Yeah,
in
but
Mount
she's
Pleasant.
laughing and giggling, so it's all good.
That wasn't
Maybe she's
vulgar.
just.
I'm like one of the boys, I guess.
It's all good, Matt. It's all good, buddy.
So yeah, where can we find you now that you've gotten your tears out?
At Sports Talking It. I will have another one tomorrow. I just found out it came in during the show.
Another what?
So, another jersey on the background. We're not gonna. I'll save
Is
it
it
for a rainy
baseball
day.
or is it football?
Baseball.
All right.
Baseball. I will go baseball.
Fair enough. As long as we ain't got to see them ugly ass towels again, we all good.
Well, maybe we'll do it for session 2, and maybe next time I'll make it a little more memorable for you.
No, absolutely not. I got to go get my memorabilia out of a box, but like
I said before, when we were talking backstage, I was like, should I go get my Jerome Bettis, and Plexico Burris bobbleheads and have them sitting there?
No, absolutely not. We're gonna go to the cool fella up in the top right, my man. Tell the fans everywhere that they can find you.
You can find me at BWATB Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. You can find Josh at Big JDM15, BIG JDM15 on Twitter. We're on there a lot. We interact with the fans. We're on the Driving to the Top Productions YouTube page. We're a part of the Rising Network with you and Adam. We love it, man. We're happy to be doing this with you guys.
Happy to have you, man.
We're happy to have you guys.
And we're trying to contribute on our end with bringing as many big names as we can get to the show. We just had Bernard Pollard on for the second time recently. Ray Rice was on last month.
Oh, nice.
Hell of a interview, by the way.
Don't forget about your Cleveland. Don't forget about the Cleveland Baltimore guy. Wally.
Oh, Wally Williams was on recently. We had Anthony Wright on last week. We will be having Yaman Figures on hopefully sometime soon. He was a Ravens returner back in the day. Working on a couple big names for the next couple months of the show. Just trying to bring as much quality content. I love
the Baltimore guy coming on, Matt.
Yes.
Center fielder.
AJ Adam Jones should be making an appearance on Charm City Heavyweight soon. So I'm still working on Gary Baxter, Evan, as you know. Gary owns 50 Burger Kings, so getting him tracked down is like crazy.
Hey, look, tell him I'll meet him as long as he got a Whopper on the table. We good.
It's crazy, man. He's doing great right now. But we're working on Chris McAllister, a couple other guys. So we're trying to bring as much positive quality content to you guys, for the family here. So
absolutely, it's greatly appreciated. You do a great job of what you
got. Hey, Matt. Hey, Evan. Quick question for Matt. Matt, did you all get your Facebook page changed around because one of the Cleveland Browns fans
oh my gosh, I know exactly what she's talking about. That's so funny.
If you can see it, I don't know if it's
she's talking about how the Ravens Facebook groups have gotten hacked by Browns fans.
I've seen it. Yeah, I
didn't that happen to one of your groups?
It was one of the groups I belonged to. I wasn't the admin for it, but I saw that and I was like, wait a minute. So I stuck around for the chaos. But when it comes to Facebook pages and stuff, I've recently over the summer, I lost access to my first Facebook page.
Okay.
My only Facebook page I had for 17 years, and I lost access. And somebody said I violated community standards. I don't know what I did because I don't do anything controversial on my shows. We don't do anything, out of the ordinary. So I lost access to that, our podcast page, my Instagram, and our podcast Instagram. So I had to literally rebuild all of that from scratch. So I'm still in the process of that. We didn't lose our Twitter though, which is good.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, no
thank you.
shit. Yeah, no shit. It's good that I was able to find you.
Well, now that we've had part 1 of AFC Table Talk, I would like to thank everybody from coming out to the lake house, joining us for the boat party. We're about to set sail. We'll be back after some good fishing, some good eating, and some more free agency. Will come when it slows down right before the draft. But again, I want to thank all of my guests for coming on. We're going to set sail, and we'll see you guys soon.
I wanted to thank Johnny Metz for commenting the Facebook page or YouTube channel as well.
Thanks, Johnny. Matter of fact, Johnny,
he needs to come on and talk with you.
Absolutely, man. Come on and talk with me. We'll work on that backstage. But again, thank you for coming to the lake house. We're gonna set sail, and we'll see you soon.